Welcome back to Fighters Drinking Coffee. Today we have Kari Summers and Mendi Carlson from Genesis Jiu-Jitsu, the co-founders of the Unbreakable women's grappling camp. They are based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if I'm reading this correctly. So Fort Worth, Texas. And they have been training together for a while. Mendi, Kari, and should go ahead and say hello and tell us a little bit how you guys met and started Unbreakable.
Okay, well, I'm Kari Summers, with black belt out of Genesis. Met. I've been training for almost 10 years. We met when Mendi's kids started. Her kids started training first, and I saw her around with her kids, and then started working out at the gym together. And she was always invited to try jujitsu, and I had a lady, or have a lady to that free for getting ladies during the day. Now it's on Mondays at 9 a.m. It's the Mendi came, tried jujitsu, tried it out, became, became a training partner, started training with me. So when did you start?
April of 2021.
Started doing the camp together, and our 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 professor is like to encourage women to do and get into it, and so then I started thinking, just try it's the gateway to get it, and then Cindy started, and we have the same goals and love for jujitsu, love for seeing women challenge themselves and grow. So that's how we met. Maybe.
I saw my kids doing jujitsu and it looked super hard, but super fun. And I got brave enough to finally try it. And I've always been an athlete, and I don't know, I fell in love with it. And I love the community that it just seems like just naturally builds out of jujitsu because we're struggling together and we're always together, and it's an individual sport, but you have to have a partner. So you have to have a team mindset. And it's been like the hardest and best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's kind of cool that your kids getting into jiu-jitsu brought you guys together. And how long? I think you were saying 2 years. But how long are your kids training before you guys got started training?
Well, it's funny. My kids trained for 2 years before I started. I remember watching and thinking that, oh, that was a lot of touching. And I kept thinking, and Karen Bain, our professor, she'd invite me all the time. I was an athletic person, and Karen would always be like, you should try this. You should try this. And I finally, my daughter did it, and it really challenged me to want to challenge myself and see if I could handle it. So I started after watching my kids. First class I did, I was like, oh, I can handle the touching. I like that. I just liked the challenge. And yeah, I grew up with brothers, so I like I could practice.
Yeah, for 2 years I watched my boys, and I tell people, I think the first year I thought, I think I'd like to do this, but I wasn't sure. And then the second year I was like, I definitely want to do this, but I do not want to start and quit, because that's the thing that people do, right? They start jujitsu and it gets hard and they quit. So I was like, I do not want to start until I know for sure. I just want to do it, to do the whole thing, never stop. And so I did. I waited 2 years, and I started, and I have not stopped. Like, I do a lot of jujitsu, so I love it. I think the challenge and things keeps me coming back because it's always different. But it's the people that I meet, and just seeing the women who are timid and they're not really sure about anything, and it's scary to learn something new, to become confident, and it just kind of spills over into the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
So with Genesis, we have a really.
Oh, I was just gonna say, can you make sure to get the microphone a little bit closer? You're kind of going in and out.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's really close to me now. So at Genesis, we have a really strong women's program. We have ladies classes, ladies only classes, 5 days a week, and we also have I coach a lot of co-ed classes during the day, and like, it's something just like can be my partner. Is what moves are we learning? Is it, there was so many fears that I had when I first started, and so what we love is being able to encourage ladies to try it. They're not so positive.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you coaching this women's program full time? Is that your gig, or is this something you're doing? Is it something else?
Yeah, no, I coach Jiu-Jitsu full time. I'm living the dream. So I coach, I coach co-ed classes, ladies classes, and kids classes. Genesis has
So yeah, that's really interesting story too. I own and run an academy, in Washington D.C. and we have a pretty strong women's team as well. And one thing that I've noticed that I think is really cool is that within our women's community, our women's team, we have some really strong leaders, and they do a great job of nurturing, kind of like the story I heard here, nurturing interest from females who may see it and feel kind of intimidated. And I think the attitude that works really well is be as welcoming as possible. And as you said, show other gals that, hey, this is an environment where you can come in and train nonstop and get a ton of value out of being a part of this community. And I see like how excited the women on my team get when a new person comes in and they're like, hey, like come train with us. And I think it just takes step by step, cultivating and continuing to have that really welcoming and cool environment, because I think, Mendi, you're the one who said that you didn't want to quit once you started it. I think that's what I see from the women on our team too, which is that they want to bring folks in and say, hey, like come train with us for the long term, because every new person that joins the team, it compounds like snowballs. It just builds a better and better community.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the fact that women are, it's an intimidating sport. Like just asking a woman who doesn't want to be, like, we live our lives, we don't want to be heavy. Nobody wants to be called heavy. You don't want to put your weight on somebody. You don't want to like bother anybody. And, it's this whole idea of like like Kari said, who's going to be my partner? And we take all that out of the equation at the beginning, and we assure them like, I promise you in about 6 months to a year, when somebody says you're heavy, you're going to take it as a compliment. And so, we take that out of the equation. I call our ladies open mat the gateway drug because it's free. They don't have to put any money into it. It's only women, so they're not going to be in what they don't see in their mind. There's a 300-pound sweaty man sitting on top of them, and so we kind of usher them in, and a lot of them will end up, going to co-ed classes and stuff. But it's like getting those barriers out of the way at the beginning until they're, more acclimated to all of the uncomfortable things of jiu-jitsu. It's just been a great way to, I think, keep women training.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you get I guess that's the ultimate goal, right? Have everybody training together at the end of the day. And yeah, I think anyone who's running an academy or a program would agree that breaking down that initial barrier definitely makes a big difference. We saw actually at the gym that I work at and coach at, we had a very similar thing happen, right? You start this women's program, there were women that were bringing their kids there. We do it at the same time as the kids class. And a lot of those women who are probably interested in the sport, they get in, they train with, train with other women and end up joining everyone else in the adults, co-ed adult class at the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, it's great because a lot of the time those people turn into the biggest killers too on the mats. So it's always cool to watch.
Yeah. I've talked to some guys that are like, I don't think you need to have a women's only class because the women need to be able to come in and just do jujitsu. And it's like, you've never gone to a class where nobody else is like you. Like, there's always 20 guys, right? They might not all be your size, but there's always 20 guys. And it's like, you wouldn't want to walk into a ladies class every week and know, like, I'm the only guy in this ladies class, And so I think it's just a great way to get women started. But in the same respect, I love it that women will come to the co-ed classes because, I mean, it is different for men to roll with women. It's a skill. You have, we always laugh. We have our favorite male training partners because we have so many women we can train with, but we're like, oh, Kari is a lightweight. I'm a medium heavy. And so for her, like, she'll say, oh, they're our size and they're like bigger than me, but to her, they're our size because they're close enough to our size that we can roll with them. And so it's great for women to come in and be able to train in co-ed classes because it teaches the men, to not just use brute strength, and they have to work techniques and change the way they play their game. And I think it's beneficial for everybody to have women in the gym.
Oh, absolutely. We have one woman that comes to our 5:30 a.m. training, and she has recently gotten comfortable enough with the crew that she starts rolling with the ultra heavy men. And it's been beneficial for them too, because they have to play a completely, they're playing a completely different game because she's not a big woman, so they're learning something too. Everybody's learning something. It definitely makes a difference. Go.
Okay. So one thing I heard you guys talking about, which was helping new students, new females, grow more comfortable and aware of the environment that Jiu-Jitsu puts all of us into. And then eventually, should they feel comfortable and confident to move into co-ed classes, bringing them into the full community, if you will. Is that like what you encourage folks to do? Do you sort of just let it happen?
Like, I let it happen naturally. A lot of the ladies will want to start learning, more techniques or training at different times that we don't have a ladies class. And so they will come to a different class. And, here we have a 6 a.m. class. So we end up with ladies that want to train at 6 a.m. So, and that's the class that we attend and train at. So they'll come to that class, which is co-ed. And, and a lot of them will start out with, they'll say, okay, I'll only roll with the male black belt. And that'll be, the first time they roll with a man and get to kind of experience what that is like. So we don't tell them they should, we do. And so a lot of times it feels like what we do, they start to do the same.
Lead by example.
Yeah, that usually.
Yeah. And for me, Kari, she was already like competing heavily and all of that whenever I started jiu-jitsu, and I'm a competitive person. So it was the same thing. Like I want to challenge myself. I want to compete. I want to, like it worked out well for Kari, the world champion. So I want to go do that too. And I knew, that I would have to broaden my horizons, and roll in our, like the 6 a.m. class. Sometimes we have 9 black belts. So I think it's really good for me to go just take my medicine and roll with all the black belts, So, to be competitive, I wanted to challenge myself. And so that was kind of when I got my blue belt, I was like, okay, I can't hide behind the white belt anymore. I have to go and challenge myself more and more. And so that's what I did. And it's, worked out well for me too. But I think it is not the pressure like, hey, you really need to do this, or hey, your jujitsu is going to suffer if you don't. I mean, we have a blue belt that's never rolled with a man, and she's like, maybe one day I will, but she has good jujitsu and she does great, and she's competed and all the things. And so I don't think it's necessary, but I think it is helpful. And I think just letting that happen naturally, because everybody's journey is different, has been, beneficial for everyone.
Mendi, when you got into training jiu-jitsu, did you have like a goal in mind that you wanted to compete, or was it self-defense, or just curiosity about picking up a new hobby, or a little bit of both?
I think it was mostly I wanted a new hobby. I knew I would get in better shape with it. I knew I would want to compete because, I mean, listen, everything's a competition.
Appreciate
um,
What was your sports background?
and so I guess
I'm sensing some competitiveness.
yeah. I played college soccer. I've just been involved in all kinds of sports. Anything from I did high school rodeo. I kind of did a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades.
Go ahead.
Okay. On my competitive background is a lot of different things. I like a good challenge, but I guess I knew I would compete if I started jujitsu. Um, I said I watched Kari compete, and I just knew she was successful, and so I tried to replicate the things that she did that would make her successful. And I love I love competing. I love the work that goes into it. I love challenging myself. Um, it's been a fun way, and it's a different way. I tell the ladies that are wanting to compete, but they're kind of afraid. I tell them it's a different way to do jujitsu. It's a different area, it's a whole different level, but it helps you to train your mindset and to train your body and to go against people that you don't, you know, roll with every day, every week. That I love it.
Yeah, you're taking martial art and now you're transitioning into doing a sport, right? Like now it's a game, it's a sport.
Yeah.
You get to go against, you really get to test out your skills and ability when you're with someone that you're competing against someone you've never seen before, or, it also wants to win and beat you, doesn't want you to win, right?
Mhm.
Kari, I will come back to, I have a thought but I want to get a little input from Kari before I do that. Kari, did you also go into jiu-jitsu knowing you were going to compete, or did you, there's plenty of other people where they kind of fall into it and then, they get the competition bug, right?
Yeah, I didn't really think about competing to begin with. To begin with, I just wanted to see if I could do it. I didn't know, because I was worried about the touching, and I didn't know if I could handle it. So I didn't start out planning to compete, but at our gym, they kind of, my kids were competing, and so it was what everybody did. So I did my first Naga when I had been training for 5 months. So I started competing right away. But I'd been, being around it for 2 years, watching my kids made it where I understood the language, I understood the goals. So I advanced really quickly, having just watched for 2 years. So I competed right away, but it wasn't my intention to compete. I Once I did it, I liked it. I liked competing. I liked the feedback. I liked seeing where I was making mistakes and knowing how and learning to correct them. So and our professor Karen, she's a world, won several master worlds at all different belts, and so you kind of follow the example that's been set for you.
Yeah, those are pretty much the two different two different camps for people who end up competing. You have the people that want to compete. You have the people that find out that they really like competing, even though they've originally done their first competition. I have a guy who did that. He didn't want to compete. I talked him into his first competition. Now he's got something like every month. So it's
Yeah, and I think having kids competing where you kind of they're doing it, and so how can you tell them to be brave and challenge themselves to compete if you're not willing to do it? So that kind of my son, who was 11 when I did my first competition, and right before he showed me how to do an S mount armbar, and 11-year-old taught me my S mount armbar, and I went out there and got it, and it was cool to make my kids proud.
I taught her that.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys
Yeah.
compete at the same.
In the same regard.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'll ask you a question.
I was thinking in the same regard. Like we don't, push our ladies to compete. We encourage, like, hey, this is a different way to challenge yourself. Try it. Try a new hard and try it. But, there's plenty of ladies that won't ever compete. But the cool thing about if you sign up for a competition, it's apples to apples, right? They're your age, they're your weight, they're your belt. And so a lot of people have never like done that. They've always had to, fight somebody bigger or younger or you know. And so for you to be able to go out and go like this one is like me. Now let's see who's better. It's a great thing. We have a master 7 woman in our community, and she had never up until July of this year fought someone her age. I'm a master 4, just turned to a master 4, and she was fighting the oldest person she'd ever fought was a master 3. And we found her a master 7 at the Austin Open this summer, and she got to go fight someone her age and her rank and her weight, and it was so great. And it was amazing. It was amazing to see the crowd that drew around 2 Master 7 female blue belts, you know, because people were like, oh, I mean, there was this woman was next to me, and I think she was 50, and she'd started jujitsu like a year earlier. And she's like, I didn't know I could compete, but I can do this. Like they're doing this, I can do this. And so that was really cool.
Yeah, it is. My question was going to be if you compete at the same tournaments that your kids do. If you bring them, they compete, you get to watch them, they get to watch you. So again,
In the past, I used my I have 4 kids, and only the youngest is still training, and so she's not competing a lot. But when my older kids were competing, we would the 4, my 3 kids and myself, the 4 of us would all compete together. So we've done it, and Mindy's done it. She's competed with her boys.
Yeah. It's interesting, it's like my first competition, the boys, they competed all morning, and, the master white belt females, and we're at the end of the day. And so Coach Karen had to tell my boys, she's not your mom right now. You got to let her get ready. She's going to fight somebody. So it was interesting. But yeah, we've both competed with our kids, and it is good. And, I think it was funny to me, the first tournament that I went with my boys to after I started training. It was only a few months in, but they just thought it was the coolest thing. Like my youngest was like, Mom, let's go to the warm up mat. You can help me warm up. Like I was official. Like I knew jujitsu. I knew enough to help him warm up, and he thought I was pretty cool for that. So
yeah, it is really cool. I have kids, and they're not old enough to train yet, but I'm curious about that. Then another note, we've noticed we've had quite a few like competitive jujitsu women on the show, there's definitely a common link with big brothers or college athletes. So, they either fighting their big brothers or being competitive athletes in college. So I find that interesting. That
Yeah.
continues. Do you guys, you guys see, you're running a women's program. Do you see a lot of that? Is that is there a common thread there through your, the women that come to the program as well? Like the ones that end up competing, obviously. I know there's going to be a breakaway from that, but is that, Kari, true outside of just the guests on our podcast?
But we have all women from all different backgrounds. You tend to attract women that are like you. So we have a lot of moms, we're moms. And so, and I coach kids classes. And so when I'm coaching the kids classes, I meet the moms and I talk to them and kind of just, get to know them. And so then a lot of the moms, they see me and they see me coach and they see they're around it and then they decide to try it out. And so, we have the one mom that our blue belt that she never did any sport ever. Yeah, she literally got her letter jacket from the debate team. So she has, like we say, sportsy type lingo to her. And she's like, what? And she never thought she'd do something sportsy or athletic, but she's, taken to it. And then there's quite a few ladies that never have done anything athletic and they're, finding their way and changing the way they see themselves to see all that they're capable of doing. So some of the ladies we have a few college basketball players and a few, big brother, lady brothers, but a lot of them, we really encourage women that they can do something they've never done before. And especially as a mom, your identity becomes that you're a mom and you kind of forget what you can do. And so what's great about Jiu-Jitsu is they're able to see they are, being a mom is wonderful and I love it. And I'm so glad to do that, but also that they can see they're capable of more than, they're more than just a mom. They can be athletic. They can be strong. They can, work hard. And I feel like doing jujitsu is not only like they're learning the sport, but they're changing the way that they see themselves. And that's what I love is then, I love seeing women start out where there's things, their body doesn't know how to do it. And over time, like their body learns how to move in these jujitsu-y ways. And it's just fun to see them grow and change by doing jujitsu and doing something hard.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you're always having your team chase that next, in quotes, hard thing that is in front of them, which has a confidence boosting and moral or ethical or spiritual strengthening process, which is true for male, female, whatever. We get lots of brand new competitors, all shapes and sizes, who are all nervous. And I don't also, same stance as you guys. I don't require anyone or push anyone who doesn't want to compete. I always advertise, if you will, the value that an individual can get from it. Because, in my opinion, I think it's one of the best ways to get the most, or maybe the biggest amount of wisdom, I suppose, from the jiu-jitsu world that we're all in, because you're tested in that moment. And there's a big difference between all of us stepping on the mat with our buddies that we get comfortable with and going really hard and training and get tapped out, you tap them out. I think that's great and all, but like you mentioned, or maybe Michael mentioned earlier, like you're going to go out there and the other person is going to try and stop you, and you get a result. It may not be the result you want. Sometimes it is, but it's going to educate you. And so like the moral courage it takes for a person to do that, male, female, whatever, I think it's been the most beneficial thing for me. So I love sharing that story with anyone. And I love hearing that you guys are doing that and you're leading it.
Yeah, what I like about I often tell people competing is like compounded interest on your training. You know, it's you have a focus, you're training, maybe you're picking up extra training sessions, you're gaining experience in the moment of the actual match or matches and like mental fortitude, all those things. It's like exponential growth just by doing it. Uh, and so I do encourage people for that sense, but I'm also a little sometimes envious of just the hobbyists that just they don't have a certain goal. Like they're not like, okay, well, so my next tournament's going to be Nogi World. So I'm like, okay, what's next? Nogi World. Now I've got, what do I want to work on? What do I need to work on? They're just here and they're learning and they're getting better and they're valuable to our community. And I'm a little envious, like they can just roll up and enjoy that. And not that I don't enjoy what I'm doing, but that's a great thing. Like, they just love jujitsu and they love what they get out of it and they love being here and it's part of an escape for them and they just enjoy it. But I was listening to another podcast a while back and one of the guests on the podcast talked about how jujitsu is so different from any other sport because at my gym, I have competitive athletes, professional athletes. I have people that's what they do. But at the same time, we also have just a mom that's just here so she can get a break from her kids. Or we have a guy that's like a customer service guy and he is way down by the world and he just wants to come train. And no other sports like that, right? Where you don't see people out, with the Lakers, like a dad that just plays basketball on the weekends. He doesn't train with the Lakers during the week. But in jujitsu, you have like professional, competitive people and the hobbyists all together all the time. So it's just, and you need them. That's part of the community. And so I think it's really interesting that no other sports like that.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, you definitely don't normally run into your average Joe training with,
Michael
top
Jordan.
guys. Yeah, Michael Jordan. Yeah, that is for sure. Kind of on that. You guys mentioned before we got on the show, we got a little information from you guys, and you kind of mentioned your, how you're curating this community that you're of women training together. And if you don't want to answer this is fine. If it's secret sauce. But you kind of mentioned like that you have like specific ways that you're basically recruiting people to join this program. And I kind of was curious outside of, I guess it seems like you're recruiting people from, moms from the kids class, the kids children's program. Are there other women's only programs in your area, or are you guys the only one? Is there specific things you're doing to help like bring people in and get them all together at your program?
Well, we have the recruiting we do just for Genesis is through basically mostly, the moms from kids classes, but the DFW area has a lot of women training, and so there are different groups that have open mat, um, and so we, they'll have an open mat at just one of the gyms in the area, a ladies only open mat, and we'll go to that and train with lots of ladies from all the different gyms. So there's, we're not, there are quite a few women's classes with gyms that have women's only programs, and we just want women to do jujitsu. So we're happy to support that, and we go and join in on those groups whenever there's something happening.
And I mean, I think it's just a lot of the natural outflow. Like you talk to somebody, what do you end up talking about? They're like, oh, where'd you get that bruise? Well, you would never guess. Jiu-jitsu. And so then people are really interested. They're like, oh, yeah, I've been watching the UFC and it's jiu-jitsu is growing a lot. And I think a lot of it is word of mouth, right? You fall in love with it and you want to tell other people about it. But, we try to, we use social media and things like that just to, get our name out there and, women can look us up. I think a lot of what we do that is different is just what we do in retention. We try to cultivate a relationship with these women, and we have a group me that we use, and any woman's allowed to be on it. It's not just like only women training at Genesis. So we have our different friends from different gyms that we cross train with, and they're on there too. And we kind of create a sense of community where okay, who's training where this week? Are we going to an open mat? And then we try to plan events that are outside of class to do together. So we had a basketball birthday party for one of our basketball girls. She said, I just want to do something that I can beat you guys at. So she wanted to play basketball against the Jiu-Jitsu black belt so she can beat her. And so we try to create community in that way, which, I think it does keep them coming back, in that, oh, I need to show up because, so and so is going to be there and she's my partner.
I think that's our retention is really good, and that comes from women don't just show up because they want to suffer. They want to show up and be with their friends, and it's the community. We care about each other. We do celebrate birthdays. We did the basketball birthday party. We were to do poetry reading the other night for somebody's birthday, and it's creating this community, creating a support system that a lot of the ladies don't have somewhere else. And then that's what keeps them coming back, even when it's hard, even when they feel like they're not very good. They know we care about them and we want them here and that they belong here with us.
Very cool. Well, why don't we talk about the Unbreakable Women's Camp? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Women's Grappling Camp.
Yes. Unbreakable
Women's Grappling Camp.
So with that, we have gone to some other women only camps. We went to one in San Diego, California, and it was a great experience, and we really loved it. And we wanted to give the ladies in our area and DFW an opportunity to come to a camp that is accessible. Since a lot of our ladies are moms, to ask them to travel somewhere, to get away for not only the weekend, but for the traveling and the cost. It's not accessible. That's not something, a lot of the women would never get to go to a camp if they have to fly to San Diego, to the East Coast. And so we wanted to create our own camp that's here and accessible for the ladies that live in this, live like, hey, they can come from anywhere, but especially our DFW ladies. There are so many women doing jujitsu around here in Oklahoma. And we wanted a camp that they could come to and get to experience.
So how does it work? You guys set aside a number of days, you use the Genesis location or another location and you invite folks from all over? How does it actually work?
Okay, so it's a 2-day camp, and we are hosting it at the Sheridan Hotel in downtown Fort Worth. So we have 4,600 square foot of space, 3,600 square foot of mat space that Gameness has sponsored for us. And so for 2 days, we will meet. We'll have two-hour seminars each day, followed by an hour open mat. And then we have breakout sessions. So we're going to talk about competition mindset, training, just different things. Like we want to help other gyms to cultivate a strong women's community. So we're going to talk about the things that we do that work and just share that with others. And so since it's on site at a hotel, if ladies want to come in and make it like a girls' weekend, and they all come in and rent a couple of rooms and train all weekend together and meet new ladies and get to roll and learn new techniques and just have a jiu-jitsu girls weekend. That's what we want for them. But it's also, it's like if they live in the area, they don't have to, rent a room. They can just drive in. And so it's going to be, over 8 hours of instruction, uh, plenty of open mat time and time to talk to the black belts and just create community within our area.
Do you have is it mostly instruction from other women's black belts from your area? Do you have people come in from out of town that maybe
So Kari's gonna do one seminar one seminar session, and then we have 3 other female black belts. So we have Daisy Leandro from Ephesians 6. She's known as the armbar hunter, and she's from our area, so she'll be traveling just locally. And then we have Liz Metrovic and Kelsey Carter, both coming in to do a session.
Very cool. It sounds like it's a pretty big camp that you guys got going. That's a lot of mat space. So I assume you're getting really good turnout for these, especially getting the sponsorship with Gameness and all of that. That's really cool. When is it?
It's February 6th and 7th in 2026.
Awesome. So you got plenty of lead up time for any of our listeners that might be interested in going to that area. Actually might be pretty dang close. Well, actually, that wouldn't be up yet. Never mind. I was gonna say I think that might actually be kind of close to. Might be some competitions around that time down that way. But they might not be posted yet. And then another question I have is Unbreakable. Where did you guys come up with that naming, that branding? Why Unbreakable?
Well, we were just talking about a word that would kind of exemplify many things in jiu-jitsu, right? Like you would want the unbreakable grip, and people are trying to break your arms, so you want to be unbreakable. But we talked a lot about the bonds created, that we have an unbreakable spirit. Like, you're put in these sometimes really terrible positions in jiu-jitsu, and a lot of it isn't like I don't have the physical ability. Sometimes it's just mental, right? You want to be unbreakable. Like I know I have this task before me, and I don't want to break in the middle of it. Like I want to have a strong mind, strong heart, and all those things are curated by like strong friendships and teamwork and all the things that go along with jujitsu. And yeah, so we were coming up with all kinds of things, but Unbreakable they just sat with both of us and we're like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's an awesome reason. I had another question. Don't lose interest. So got the instructors. So you're doing about 8 hours of instruction. Is that each day? Is that?
It'll be 4 hours. It'll be 2 4-hour sessions each day.
Okay. Are you rotating people through? I'm just trying to get a feel for the format here. Are you doing like back everybody with each instructor for an hour? Do you guys have this rotated through? So you have groups and they're group A with instructor A, and then it rotates through, so everybody's kind of getting a flow through, or is it 1 hour per instructor for everybody?
So it'll be 2. So the first day will be all gi, and so we'll have 2 instructors. So each instructor will have a 2-hour seminar, and then the second day is a no gi day, and so the other 2 instructors will split the day up that way. And we have an option where, because people love no gi and people love gi. I love both, but I wanted to give my no giers an option to just show up to the no-gi day. You know, they can come do a one-day camp if they want. So that's how we have it formatted.
3,600 square feet of mat space.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How many? Like, what's the capacity you're looking for this?
We're gonna cap it at 150.
Oh wow, that's huge. We would love to help you guys hit every bit of 150.
Oh, that would be great.
And for women who might be interested, it doesn't quite line up. It's 2 weeks later is the Austin Open. Which isn't that close to Fort Worth, but it's close enough.
Oh yeah, it's close enough that I'm gonna go. Oh yeah. So we thought that too. We thought, well, that would be perfect timing as far as, you know, being able to come and get some instruction and get some different looks on rolls, you know, in an open mat environment, and not conflict with any other competition.
And we're hoping the ladies will want to make a girls trip out of this. We have done girls trips that were competition girls trips. When we went to Austin in July, there was 8 of us and 6 competed. 6 of the ladies competed, and some of them was, you know, first time they've ever competed. And, you know, the girls trip was fun, but doing a competition is also hard because you have ladies cutting weight and then the nerves, and the idea of a camp is there's no pressure of competing. You can just go on a girls trip and we're just learning jiu-jitsu together and rolling, and, you know, so trying to, you know, this again, because community is what keeps women in jiu-jitsu, the relationship is trying to create an opportunity for ladies to come to, you know, make a girls trip of it, come to the camp, you know, develop, like, strengthen their community within their gym, but also seeing other ladies. I remember the first time I went to Master World, I had never seen so many female black belts. It was amazing to see so many women doing jujitsu, and, you know, having a camp like this, some women don't have any women in their gym, and this is their opportunity to get to train and roll with more ladies.
No, I think the message resonates, and just if I was a betting man, I'd say you'll probably, as the message spreads, there'll be a lot of women who shouldn't make a girls trip out of it, or just travel solo, like you said. If they don't have that community in their area. We have just in the DC area, like
Right.
this is why your story I think resonates so well. There's a very similar, I don't know what to call it, like groundswell of like female excitement for the sport, and there's a lot of similar activities in our area. I don't know about any camps, but I think is hopefully our female audience in our area hears this, they'll bite. I think it's a really cool idea. Also, just last thing, I don't know if you've already filled out capacity for all your instructors, but if you want to like explore black belt or competitive level female competitors in, you know, across the country or whatever, we have quite a few up here that I'd be happy to introduce you to if that provides any value.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And this is pivoting off a little bit, but you guys said you were going to be at No-Gi Worlds this year?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be there.
So we'll both be there. Are you competing at it, Scott? Have you decided you're just coaching? Right. Not just coaching, but you're not competing. Well, we're both going to be there, so we can try to link up and talk jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That'd be
Meet
fun.
you.
We can we'll be going probably a different time. We have some people that
Well, we're gonna be there the whole time.
Which Mendi, what division? Oh, actually, you're going to be up a division. Isn't that right? By Worlds?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm aiming to do Master 3 Brown, medium heavy. So if there's any ladies, tell them to sign up. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm looking for a fight. So yeah.
You don't want that auto.
And then Kari's Master 3 Black. Oh, I don't want that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
You know, Mendi won.
With Michael, but I'll have my
Go ahead.
head of our women's jiu-jitsu team. She's competing, and she'd really get a kick out of meeting you guys. I'm certain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would love to meet her.
We're hilarious. So
Yeah, you guys are,
we think so.
you're navigating the audio issues we've had very well. It's for all.
We finally got it dialed in. It's good. It's good. That's really cool. I had other questions. I keep clicking out of my trying to match your dates up with other dates. I keep clicking out of my questions tab. But the other, this is pivoting back to your camp. The other thing that you talk about is are there other things outside of the jiu-jitsu portion of the camp that is kind of, I don't know if I'd say like not like included in the tuition, but like, do you have other things around it? You know, you have the breakout sessions and stuff like that on the mats, but do you have things out off the mats as well that you include in your, sort of in like the camp package, you know, whatever, but do you do other?
So we have an option. We have an option to have a VIP lunch with the black belts for like a Q&A. And so that'll be a catered lunch. But we also, in our swag bag, everyone gets a free Unbreakable rash guard that's a Gainess brand. And I'm excited about it. I like it a lot. But we're going to do different things. We're going to have like social hours. So there's an indoor pool at the hotel. So the first evening, we're going to meet at the pool and hang out and swim. And then the last night, there's a great square in downtown Fort Worth called Sundance Square. And so afterwards, we're all going to shower and head out downtown and check it out and hang out together and that kind of thing.
It sounds like a good additional community building. And that's really cool. The Q&A with the black belts, like that's definitely a nice value add. You get a little bit of extra one-on-one time with people, especially after hours of instruction. So, yeah, that's really cool. Dude, I am the most scattered. Sorry. I'm slow in the flow. I had another thought in my head and then I forgot it because I had to make a comment. But so you guys have you have the swag bag, you have the group sessions. Come back to me. I'll remember it eventually. But anything else?
No, it's all good. So, okay, so it's February 26th and 27th.
No, February 6th and 7th. 6, 7.
Usually one digit.
20 days.
I was gonna say, I'll get that wrong too. The Sheridan, I think.
Yeah, the Sheridan downtown Fort Worth.
There we go. All right, Sheridan downtown Fort Worth, looking for 150 ladies to go take a part of this really cool event. Yeah, this is awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to promote? I think this is great.
Well, I can plug our website so they can go and check out for more information and register if they want. It is unbreakable-bjj.com.
Awesome. We'll put that in the show notes too, so you can just click on.
Yeah,
and we have our Instagram handle, the Unbreakable. So we've got some entertaining content on there. I don't know if you saw, we just did like a bingo card of things that people have experienced with jiu-jitsu, being choked unconscious or choking someone else unconscious. And we got a lot of response to that. It was great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you even mentioned one of your bingo squares of where'd you get that bruise.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Or House Karate.
Oh.
Yeah, BJJ Fanatics shared it, so I feel like, we're jiu-jitsu famous now.
You're now part of the jiu-jitsu lore.
Yes.
Cemented forever. That's really cool, guys. I mean, I'm not part of your target demo, but I'd be pretty excited for a camp like this. I think that sounds like a really fun opportunity for anybody who goes. Hopefully you get a lot of people for your VIP package too. That'll be up those numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I could say one last thing, it'd be like, tell all your lady friends about our camp.
Oh, we will. Do you guys have do you guys have like promotional material or something? Like, are you gonna have like a flyer or some sort of something that someone could print out and make like hard copies of? Or
Yeah, we do. We have some postcards. Like if anybody is interested, we can drop them in the mail. Or I've got some PDFs and things, and we do have our cute little decals that I'm always carrying around to give away at tournaments and things like that. So I'd be happy to send anybody some freebies if they want to message us on Instagram or through the website.
yeah, we'll definitely get with you about that off air, because I think that would be helpful on our end to get to some people. So, but yeah, thank you guys for coming on. This is awesome. I think what you guys are doing is great. I think that's, more people on the mats, more people we can get introduced to the sport is ultimately for the better. Growing that community gets us all more training partners, more people to compete against. So, at the end of the day, that's a win for the sport. So you guys are doing a great thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
We love it. We love what we get to do.
So, and unless you guys have anything else, I'll go ahead and read out you guys. So before that, where can people find and connect with you guys? I know you said the Unbreakable one, but if you guys want to go ahead and if you want to plug your personal stuff, you're welcome to now.
Yeah. I'm at Mendi Carlson _BJJ on Instagram, and Kari is
I'm Kari, KARI _Genesis BJJ.
Awesome, and we'll put that in the show notes. So I'll get that from you guys off air to put in the show notes as well. But that's awesome, guys, and thank you for being on Fighters Drinking Coffee. And as per usual, for all you listeners out there, continue to rate, review, subscribe to the show. That helps us in the algorithm. It gets us in front of more people. And just like our friends here at Unbreakable are doing, the more people that join the community, the more people there are to talk with, the more people that hear the show and hopefully get to enjoy what you guys are enjoying. So share the love. And you can follow the show on Instagram at Fighters Drinking Coffee. If you want to keep up with Scott and I, you can find Scott
at Scott Dance BJJ
and me at Kit Sudsy. And we still have some stuff in the works for you guys. We have some cool merch, some Jiu-Jitsu no-gi kits in the works. So you can rep the show on the mats. We have that in the works, but in the meantime, there's a link in the show notes that will get you $5 off from that manufacturer, Cruise Combat. No-gi gear, actually made in where you guys are, down in Dallas. And so you guys can check them out, get $5 off, as well as some made in America gear that's guaranteed for life. So check them out, and we'll have some cool stuff coming from them here soon. So thank you guys. That was Fighters Drinking Coffee.